this experiment we are going to see about the whirling of shaft. So the aim of the experiment is to determine the critical speed of rotating shaft. So the critical speed is also called as whirling speed of the shaft. So in order to understand the theory or understand what is critical speed, so we need to understand at some, so you can see the figure here. Okay, say I have a shaft which is supported at the ends by bearings. Okay, and one side it is attached to the motor. So now if I start giving the rotation to the shaft at certain moment will try to oscillate in the transverse direction, giving me maximum amplitude at the center, which is called the first mode. So this point can also be called as antinode. So where the amplitude of vibration is maximum, we can call it as antinode. So the same case. So as we increase the RPM of the motor, the shaft speed will also increase. So we get the second mode. In the second mode, at the center of the shaft, there is a node. At the ends, also there are two nodes. So in the center, that is from the center, you have one antinode on the left and one on the right. So this is how you have the system. So the critical speed is the RPM or the speed at which maximum deflection can be seen in the shaft when it is supported at the ends. So that is called the critical speed. So at critical speed, you have to make sure that any system does not reach this critical speed, because excessive vibration of the shaft will take place at critical speed, which can cause the structural damage to the system. So it is necessary that we know the critical speed of the system before running the system, so that damage caused is minimized. So to find the critical speed of the shaft, what do we need? We need the whirling of shaft apparatus or the test rig. So we will see. So which consists of the motor, the supports, and a tachometer, which is usually indicating the RPM. Okay. So then coming to observation, the first observation we are doing here is to note down the diameter of the shaft in meter. Then the length of the shaft L in meter. Then the Young's modulus or modulus of elasticity of the shaft material in Newton per meter square. Then finally, the last point we are going to observe is the density of the shaft, that is rho in kg per meter cube. Now based on the specification of the support end conditions, okay, we have this condition, free end or fixed end. So in our experiment or the experimental apparatus we are carrying out fixed end, where the values of K1 and K2 are fixed. So K1 is 2.45, K2 is 7.95. So we will see this later. So we will come to the tabular column first. So now I can repeat the experiments for different diameter of the shaft. Say I have 0.04, that is a 4 centimeter shaft, 5 centimeter shaft for example. I can have two different readings. Note down the length of the shaft in each case, mass per unit length of the shaft in each case. Then I have two columns, that is experimental speed, theoretical speed. So the experimental speed is given by the RPM indicator in the apparatus of the whirling of shaft. Okay, so wherein the answer is in RPM. The theoretical speed is calculated using the following formulas. That is based on mode 1 or mode 2. For mode 1, that is fixed end condition, K1 is 2.45. So the theoretical frequency is given by K1 square root of EI by ml power 4, which is in hertz, where I is given by pi d power 4 by 64, where d is diameter of the shaft. Similarly for mode 2, the fixed K2 value is 7.95. The formula remains same, but the theoretical frequency has a change in this K constant. So for mode 1 it is K1, for mode 2 it is K2. So what we are going to verify is whether the experimental critical speed is equal to the theoretical critical speed given by this formula. So this is what we are going to find. Thank you.